I'm so nervous because, honestly, if you make a film about fashion and then you're face to face with somebody who really knows something about it, you're going to reveal me to be the imposter that I am.
No, look at me. Do I look like a fashion designer?
You know more than I do. Well, I was so paranoid. I was so paranoid going into this because I knew nothing. I really knew nothing. I mean, I didn't know draping from cutting, from sewing. I mean, I'm not exaggerating how little I knew, but and you feel an obligation to get something right about it for fear that you look like an imposter. That's really what it was, you know.
You know, most of the movie I've seen about fashion, you always feel that there is some sort of artificial feeling to it, and that one, I was there. And yet, it's a world of fashion that doesn't exist today anymore. It's no longer that. It used to be. Right. We used to have, you know, like all those seamstresses, you know, in the back. We call it in France, les petites mains, which are the small hands.
That's right.
And you know, those are ladies that are coming from the suburb with a bus, with a train, with a metro. Petit mains is small, there's small hands but big heart. There are women in a certain age with always a swollen ankle. And they all start the collection blonde. And they end up with gray hair and curly because they have no time neither to dye the hair or to blow dry it. And somehow I thought that the process of making other women beautiful, how they lose their own beauty to this process.
I remember so well going to the V&A and looking at these dresses that I'd read about, I'd only seen in magazines and books. And they would lay them out for us.
They let you touch it?
No. They let Daniel put gloves on and touch it. They didn't let me. But because they wouldn't let me touch it, I was standing back and I was watching these dresses that I dreamed about being able to see. But when a dress is laying flat on a table, it looks sad. After you get past the initial kind of reverence for it, or the spell is broken, that you now there's that Balenciaga that I've seen, and suddenly it's just like roadkill because it's not even on a mannequin. But when you see it on somebody, that's when it comes to life. It's kind of like reading a script. You're like, well, how good is this script until Daniel Day-Lewis, an actor, sort of brings it alive. It's the same, very similar thing.
You know, talking about like also the dresses when there is no woman under, there is no life. I did one time an exhibition about Jean Lanvin, and we went to the museum and we opened the drawers to see all those dresses from the 20s to 1910. And they were just lying there, and they looked like Sleeping Beauty, like they were dead. You know, we couldn't even handle them because they were so heavy. Right. So we end up having all the exhibition on tables, and we put a mirror. So when people came, they saw the dresses floating, but they were all lying down and resting.
That's lovely, right.
So I think dresses has to rest. And then you wear them again and you give them life.
That idea of silence it's funny. Can you imagine in this day and age having a fashion show that didn't have music or sound effects? Because from what I understood at the House of Balenciaga it was absolute silence, and now it's all noise and all...
because it's fashion and communication.
Right.
And maybe it's a fabulous way to be silent, as a new way of communication, because that's very, very new. You know, that's actually a very chic thing to be silent today. You see, that's why I love Japan more than ever these days, because you go there, and on one hand there is a silent, and then so much noise, and they're both together.
The silence part I don't understand at all, because I work in chaos. The film sets are absolutely chaotic for a while, but then you get them very, very quiet. Daniel likes it really, really quiet. There's a kind of impracticality that can't translate to a film set, you know, that there's sort of ways of working in an atelier that I was so jealous of, thinking, oh my God, you could really kind of get it that quiet, and you could really have it that serene, that it would just absolutely be impossible on a film set to be that monastic.
When I did the dress for TILDA, for the Oscar, we finished the dress just you know, the last minute. And then I saw that there was a stain on the left side by the heart. And I said to her, Tilda, we will not be able to deliver the dress today. We'll send it to you. So we'll have to redo the dress. You have like 6 ladies that calls their family to say they're not going to be there, and you bring them some pizza and whatever. And we finished the dress, and I came at like 4 in the morning, and I look at the dress, and there is a stain at the same place again. So I called her in the middle of the night, and I said, there is a stain in the same place by the heart. And she said, leave it. Maybe that's a sign. And we did. But
that's amazing. Did you ever read The Tailor of Gloucester? You know this beautiful story. It's Beatrix Potter.
No, I didn't.
It's about a tailor who is making the suit for the mayor. It's his suit that he's going to get married in the next day for his wedding day. And he becomes ill the night before, and he can't finish the jacket. And so all the mice in his atelier come out, and they help finish the dress, but the whole time fighting the cat off, who's trying to kill them and eat them the whole time. Beautiful story, but that kind of rush in the middle of the night, there's that deadline, that work that should take weeks and months is going to get done in
And it is, it
4 hours.
always does. That Mr. Woodcock is talking about, the fact that his job is also to deliver dresses.
Yes, I'm delivering the dress.
I'm
Yes.
delivering the dress. And it can have like both meaning, no? I mean, I'm
Yes.
delivering the dress, but also like giving birth.
Yes.
Many of us feel like that.
You must feel that way, right?
Because that's why you see I'm like fat, whatever is politically correct to say, but I always feel I'm always pregnant.
Right.
And it's that moment, and at that moment somebody is telling you, we have to do fabric for the next collection. And you know that you're being like pregnant once again, but you didn't even have labored your baby yet.
Right. But that's almost like speaking in a way to the addiction. I can remember having a baby with my wife for real. Well, she had the baby, she did the work, but I delivered it in our bed. And I remember as soon as that baby came out and I caught it, thinking, let's do this again. You know, and right now. And it was this joy for me, because I wasn't in pain. Well, we did it again. We did it 4 more times. That thrill that can take over even in the hangover of delivering something and finishing something is that you know right around the corner you're going to be seduced again into doing this. It's a compulsion, as it should be probably, to keep pursuing this thing.
And I brought you a little present. It's my sketches when I was 7 years old.
Oh my goodness.
So here you can
Please, let me see. 7 years old.
Yeah.
That's 7?
Yeah.
No.
Like hugging, like, hello, Donald Trump.
Exactly. What first attraction? Multi-millionaire. Paul Thomas.